Hello and welcome to the In2Pickle YouTube channel, the channel designed for your pickleball improvement. My name is Tony Roig, and in this video what we're going to be talking about, how to cover the court when you're playing with a partner. Obviously you play with a partner, you're playing doubles. We're going to talk about covering the court. What we're going to focus on in this video is the center line and how the center line might be affecting your play. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you some concepts or a concept for you to think about how to approach the concept of moving around the court with your partner, how to think about it. That'll hopefully help you and your partner deal with it when you're moving across the court. Let's get into it. All aboard! All right, let's go to the board. As I mentioned on the court, what we're focusing on in this video is movement as a doubles team with a focus on the center line and the impact that the center line has on our movement when we're playing pickleball doubles. What happens is this center line, right, it serves only one purpose, or actually two purposes at one point in time. It provides an artificial line here where this player, the server, needs to stand to the, in this case, to the right of. The serving from over here would be to the left of. And it provides a box into which the serve needs to be hit. Obviously, a serve over here is out. Anywhere outside this box, the serve is out. It needs to land in this box or on one of these lines for it to be in. So the center line really is just that. Once that occurs, I took a little piece of paper here, a white piece of paper. Really, you play as if the center line was no longer on the court. So it'd be awesome if pickleball courts were such that you served, as soon as the ball bounced here, you know it was in, the center lines disappeared. Once that happens, basically the movement of this team here across the center line should be perfectly fine, and this team too. So once the team moves up, basically as they're playing, this movement here should be not hindered by the center line. And there's three areas in which the center line can sometimes hinder our movement. One is the not poaching. So what will happen is a player won't poach because they believe they need to stay. Let's say if you look at the blue team, they have this black line between them. So, uh-oh, I got to stop there. This is like a border. I can't cross. Whereas this team doesn't have that, so they can cross over no problem and poach. The other area is in protecting your partner, and we'll cover that in a second. So protecting the middle, and there's a video on cover the middle. If you haven't seen it, I'll link to it above and below. You can check that out. And the third area that this line or the center line creates issues is covering the lob. Covering the lob I'm going to cover in another video that'll be published about the same time as this video. It might be a couple of days later, but I'll link to it above once it's ready and below as well. If you're watching this video, the minute we publish it, it might be a couple of days later, but if you're watching it later on, I'll link to it up above and below. We'll have a whole video on how to cover the lob. But the key is that the center line should not impact our coverage of our poaching, or protecting our partner, or covering the lob. First, let's cover the poach, and let's look at it from the blue side. So the blue side is going to be a team that basically plays hard center line. Nobody crosses the center line. So what will happen here is you have your serve, you have your return, and then you have this team executing attempting to execute a third shot. This player is moving up. The third shot comes around here, but it's a high and deep third shot, meaning it's going to land around here. So it's a poach opportunity for this player. This player has moved up, which happens a lot in rec play. This player's hitting the third shot, this player's here. This player could easily, as the ball is traveling across that zone, cross over, poach it, hit the ball here for a put away. Let me repeat that. So this player could take an attackable ball that's crossing through here, and then basically come over here, attack the ball this way, and win the rally right there. Instead, what the blue team does, because this player is afraid of crossing over that line, is not going to cross over that line. What happens is this player now has to hit this ball. This player might be around here by the time the ball comes. The attack opportunity is now lost because the ball has passed the optimal spot to be attacked. It's now being hit by a player who's further away from the net and from the NVZ line. This player cannot execute the attack, allowing this player to come in, this player to close, and now you're not in the same position you would have been in had this player crossed over the line. Now let's flip it around, and let's say that this is the serving team now, and this is the returning team. So what will happen is you have your serve, you have your return. We'll basically do the same exact thing. So this player is going to hit the third shot. This player has moved up. This player is moving in. Okay, the ball gets hit here. Now what happens is this player, because the center line is no longer inhibiting the player at the now volleys is going to come over here. I don't know if that'll stick or not. There you go. Come over there, execute that attack shot, and we'll use a different color here, I think. This way, winning the rally and ending the point successfully, not allowing this team to come up and capture the non-volley zone line. So the first area we're focusing on is the poach. You want to make sure that you're not allowing the center line to hinder or inhibit your poaching of or taking advantage of opportunities through poaching by crossing over. Don't be the blue team where this white line stops you from taking advantage of a ball here. Be the yellow team. Be willing to cross that center line when it's appropriate, when your partner's not yet in position to attack a ball that can be attacked. Make sure you're crossing over that line. No problems. Attack that ball. Let's look at another area where having this hard sort of center line hinder your movement can affect you, which is covering the middle and protecting your partner. What happens in this situation is you have your serve. This time you have a short return. Say you have a short return there. So this player is rushing forward, and this partner rushing forward too, to attack this ball. And the player, if the player understands the game, is going to drive the ball at this player here. So this player here is going to basically drive the ball in this direction like this, to try and basically either get this partner at the baseline or pin this partner back as far as they can. This allows the team to move up and attack. If you haven't seen our video on why you don't want to return short, I'll link to that one as well. Check it out because you'll understand why short returns are deadly when you're the return team. One way to counter a short return, or at least help if you have a short return, is for this player to slide over and intercept the ball here, protecting his or her partner and allowing his or her partner kind of an open area to come forward. So look at it basically like a shield. This player acts like a shield here and protects the partner who's under attack. In this situation, this player, because the blue team is basically respecting, if you want to call it that, this center line as a hard line. It doesn't allow movement across. This ball is going to travel back here. It's going to allow this team to come up. Now this team's in a tough spot and likely to lose the rally. Let's switch it around to the yellow team now. So what we're going to do is we're going to make the yellow team the returners here, and the blue team will be the serving, right? So what will happen here is it's basically going to be the same concept. It's going to be a short return executed by the yellow team. So what will happen here is you have your serve and you have a short return. This player, just like before, is running in to attack this ball. This player is going to attack the ball here. So the ball is going to be hit this way to keep this player back, or to attack this player who's vulnerable at this point. The difference here is when the ball reaches this around here, this player in yellow, I may have to hold this here, is going to come across because the center line is not going to bar this player in yellow from helping. So the player in yellow is able to come across. I'll stick it over here so it'll stick hopefully. There we go. So basically this player comes across. It may not even have to come that far. Maybe this player may be able to come just to here, right? Because remember you can reach out your paddle. So this player comes to here, reaches the paddle out, protects the ball, protects the partner I should say, hits the ball back to this player, allowing this player to come forward. Now everybody's set and they can play their rally from the position of advantage, which is what you want to do when you're the return team. When you're the return team on the pickleball court, you want to take the advantage as much as you can by this player protecting a vulnerable partner who's in a vulnerable spot. Everybody knows that this transition zone is vulnerable. You're vulnerable when you're in the transition zone. By protecting your partner, you're allowing your partner, you're shielding them from attack, allowing them to come forward and assume the position that you want them to play the rally. The blue team, on the other hand, didn't do that, potentially costing them the rally and the point. So the second area we want to focus on when we're looking at the center line is not to let it hinder our coverage of our partner, our protection of our partner. When our partner is in a vulnerable spot like this, we want to make sure, and is being attacked, we want to make sure that we feel free to come across the center line as much as necessary to protect our partner. If the attack comes over here, you're not going to be able to make it there, that's fine. We're talking about attacks that you can reasonably reach, even if you have to come across a little bit over the center line, or even a couple feet over the center line to protect your partner. Make sure you're doing that. Don't let the center line be an inhibitor to protecting your partner when your partner is vulnerable. The third area where the center line can really inhibit play is lob coverage. I'm going to show you real quickly here. I'm going to go to an in-depth in the other video because I want to show you the different ways to cover lobs and why there's a certain manner of covering lobs that is the optimal one or the ideal one. I'll also give you some ideas on what shots to hit once you get back to retrieve the lob. But what I want to highlight for you in this video is if you have, let's say these two teams are up and in rec play, baseline lobs aren't uncommon. So I'm just using a baseline lob. It could also be a lob from the non-volley zone, but I'm going to just use a baseline lob for now. So this team here, so you've had a serve, a return, this team moved up, and there's a lob. So the lob comes over here. So what happens is, because of this, again, hard center line, the blue team is going to play a style that this player has to go back to get that lob. This player will either stay here or move back, depending on the player. And again, we'll address that in covering the lob. But what happens is, it doesn't allow this player to help out this player in covering that lob. And you're going to see in the video on covering the lob why not being able to cross over the center line or feeling compelled to stay on one side or the other side of the center line can really hinder you or really hurt you when you're trying to successfully cover lob attacks. All right, let me give you that tip about how to think about the game that'll help you hopefully be okay with your partner coming across, or hopefully help your partner be okay with you coming across the center line to hit the shot. Before I do that, if you like the video, click like below. It really helps us reach other viewers, other pickleball players, and help them improve their game as well. What you want to think about when you're out there playing, when you're playing the game as a doubles team, right? When you're playing as a doubles team, it is not one player on this side and one player on this side divided by the center line. They happen to be standing over here together playing. These two players playing doubles pickleball are playing as a team. They're playing as a unit. And what you want is, regardless of whether it's this player, let's say you, or your partner over here, regardless of who takes the shot, you want the shot to be the best shot for the team. Sometimes that'll be you coming across the center line to poach. Sometimes that'll be your partner coming across the center line to poach. Sometimes that'll be you covering a lob. You'll see that in the next video. Sometimes it'll be your partner coming across to cover a lob, and you'll see that in the video. So whatever it is that is the best shot for your team, that's what you want to focus on for you and your partner. If you do that, you'll give your team the best chance for success. That's our video on moving with a focus on the center line. Hopefully that'll help you and your partner coexist better on the court. If you understand that concept, then hopefully your partner can understand that concept. It'll make for better play. It'll allow you to move more freely around the court without having to worry so much about the center line. If you enjoyed the video, share it with your friends. If you liked it, they probably will too. Be well out there.